Example 1. A sum of money is divided in the ratio 1 to 3 to 5. If the smallest part is €250, find the sum of money. So find the full amount or 100%. Step 1, we add up the ratios. 1 plus 3 plus 5 equals 9. So there are 9 parts in total. Step 2, put each ratio over the total. So we put 1 over 9, 3 over 9, and 5 over 9. And notice that if you were to add up the ratios, so 1/9 plus 3/9 plus 5/9 would give you 9/9, which is 100%. Step 3, let the smallest fraction equal €250 because they tell us in the question the smallest part is €250. So the 1 out of the 1, 3, and 5, the 1 is the smallest number, so it represents the smallest part. So 1/9 is going to be equal to €250. So 1/9 equals €250. Now remember, we want to find the sum of money, so we want to find the full amount, which is 100%. And 100% can be rewritten as 9 over 9. 9/9 is 100%. So if we know what 1/9 is, to find 9/9, we're going to multiply by 9. So step 4, find the sum of money, i.e. 100%, or in this case, 9/9. So we're going to find 9/9. So 250 multiplied by 9 is €2,250, which is 100%. And that is the sum of money. Example 2. The number of pages in a magazine increased from 64 to 80. The original price of €4.40 increased in the same ratio. What is the new price of the magazine? So the number of pages has increased from 64 to 80. So 64 is the original number of pages and 80 is the new number of pages. So if the original price is €4.40, then that means 64 pages cost €4.40. So 64 pages cost €4.40. Now we want to find the new price, and since we're told it increased in the same ratio, we want to find the cost of 80 pages. So 64 is equal to €4.40. So if we want to figure out what one page is equal to in euro, we need to think, well, how does 64 become 1? And when we're dealing with ratio, we're always going to either multiply or divide. We're never going to add or subtract. So you might be looking at that and you might be thinking, well, 64 minus 63 is 1. And that is correct. But when we're dealing with ratios, we're only ever multiplying or dividing. So if you think, well, how does 64 become 1? Well, how does any number become 1? Any number can become 1 by dividing by itself. So 64 divided by 64 will give us 1. And the rule with ratios is what you do to the left, you do to the right. What you do to the right, you do to the left. So if we divide by 64 on the left, we're going to divide by 64 on the right. So 64 divided by 64 is 1. And €4.40 divided by 64 is going to simplify in our calculator as 11 over 160. Now this is a fraction and we wouldn't typically say 11 over 160 euro. And normally we would deal with decimals when we are talking about money. But if you were to press SD in your calculator and change this into a decimal, there might be an error in your rounding. So you're always better to keep it in fraction format until the very end. So for now, we're just going to say that one page is equal to 11 over 160. So remember the ratio rule, what you do to the left, you do to the right, and what you do to the right, you do to the left. So remember, we're interested in the new price of the magazine, so the price of 80 pages. We now know that one page is equal to 11 over 660 euro. So if we want to figure out what 80 pages is, we have to think, well, how does 1 become 80? Now remember again that with ratio questions, you only ever multiply or divide. So you might be thinking, well, to get from 1 to 80, I just add on 79. That is technically true, but this is a ratio question, so we're only going to multiply or divide. So if you're at 1 and you want to get to 80, you're going to multiply by 80. 1 multiplied by 80 gives us 80. And if we multiply by 80 on the left, we'll multiply by 80 on the right. And 11 over 160 multiplied by 80, do it in the calculator, gives us €5.50. So 80 pages is equal to €5.50. And always check, does your answer make sense mathematically? If 64 pages cost €4.40, we would expect 80 pages to cost more than €4.40. And €5.50 is more than €4.40. But it's not too much more either. Like if you got an answer of €550 here, that would not make any sense mathematically. So the new price of the magazine is €5.50. Don't forget your unit of measurement. Don't forget your euro symbol.